Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the financial reframe, maximizing your annual tax refund. We really need to uncover this massive financial blind spot that literally millions of people fall right into every single spring. Yep, tax season. Whether you just filed your taxes or you're literally about to, there's this super predictable behavioral pattern that kicks in right about now. We're going to completely reframe how you look at that annual check from the government, and I'll show you exactly how to leverage it to alter the entire trajectory of your financial future. $3,000. That's right around the average tax refund this year. Now, for most of us, a sudden influx of $3,000 feels absolutely fantastic, right? But here's the stark reality. For the vast majority of people getting this money, it's going to be completely gone within 30 days of hitting their bank account. Not invested, not used to build anything lasting, just gone. Which leads us to a really critical question. Where will your tax refund be in 30 days? Because what typically happens is that this money just gets absorbed into the background noise of daily spending before you even make a conscious decision about what to do with it. You know how it goes. It turns into a nice dinner out here, maybe a new piece of furniture there, just a handful of impulse purchases, and we justify it, right? Because, hey, the money just kind of suddenly appeared. But then 3 months later, there's absolutely nothing to show for it and no real memory of where it actually went. Now, putting on my financial advisor hat for a second, there is a super dangerous psychological trap here regarding earned income versus windfall income. Researchers have studied this extensively. Think about it. When you earn your regular paycheck, it feels tight, right? It's budgeted, it's accounted for. But when windfall income arrives, your brain totally flips a switch and treats it as found money. There's this psychological looseness around windfalls. People spend unexpected income so much faster and honestly way more carelessly than the money they worked a specific grinding week to earn. So we have to break that psychological illusion right now. It's your money. You earned it. This is not a bonus from the universe. It's not a gift. It was simply withheld by your employer, and now it's just being returned to you by the government. Oh, and by the way, it was just an interest-free loan to the government. They paid you 0 interest for the privilege of holding onto your money all year. Understanding this little psychological quirk, that's the very first step to actually doing something intelligent with this cash. So, if we want to deploy this money intelligently, we need a strict, sequential order of operations. Step 1, high-interest debt. Step 2, emergency fund. Step 3, invest. This is the absolute, grounded, unshakable foundation of personal finance. You cannot skip straight to the exciting investing part without building this foundation first. If you do, your financial house is basically built on sand. Let's break these down one by one. All right, step 1, crush high-interest debt. Paying off a balance that is costing you 20% is mathematically identical to earning 20% on that money. I really want you to think about that. If you're carrying credit card debt at 18, 20, or even 24% interest, paying that down is literally the single highest guaranteed return available to you anywhere in the financial universe. There is no index fund, no hot stock, absolutely no investment out there that reliably returns 20% every single year. It's hands down the best trade in personal finance. It requires no market knowledge, no brokerage account, and absolutely zero tolerance for risk. So if your high-interest debt is larger than your refund, put the entire refund toward the highest rate balance and just move on. Moving on to step 2, the emergency foundation. Having a fully funded emergency cushion turns something like a sudden car repair or a medical bill into just a mere financial setback. It's annoying, sure, but you survive it. But without an emergency fund, that exact same car repair becomes a full-blown financial catastrophe. It forces you into crippling debt, or worse, forces you to sell off your investments at the worst possible time. Look, I get it. An emergency fund isn't exciting, and it definitely won't make you rich. But building up this cushion with your refund is exactly what makes every future financial opportunity survivable. And finally, step 3, accelerating with investments. Now for the fun part. For a beginner, the absolute most straightforward, powerful move you can make is putting that refund directly into a Roth IRA. If you're eligible and under 50, the 2026 contribution limit is $7,000. That means a $3,000 tax refund gets you nearly halfway to the maximum limit in one single move. And inside that Roth, you just invest in low-cost, broad market index funds. The beauty of this is the money grows completely tax-free, and when you pull it out in retirement, you owe the government absolutely nothing, zero. So what does that actually mean for your future? Well, if someone in their 20s or 30s takes that initial $3,000 refund and just lets it sit in a total market index fund for 30 years at a historical average return of around 7%, it balloons into roughly $23,000.
23 grand from one refund. This is what we mean by changing your trajectory. That is the actual long-term value of the decision you're making right now with what feels like just a modest little windfall.
Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, I don't have a Roth IRA, and it sounds kind of complicated. Let's just clear that up right now. It takes under 15 minutes to open an account at major brokerages like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. They require zero minimums to get started, and you get access to index funds with practically zero fees. The barrier here is entirely psychological, guys. It is not logistical. You could literally pause this explainer, go open an account, and be back in 15 minutes. It's that easy.
Okay, but what about those of you who already have your foundation built and are regularly contributing to retirement? You might be wondering how to invest this new lump sum. Do you put it all in at once or kind of spread it out over time? Well, here is a super counterintuitive advisor secret for you. Lump sum investing actually wins about 2/3 of the time compared to spreading it out. The logic is surprisingly simple. Markets go up more often than they go down over time. So every single day your money is sitting on the sidelines waiting for a better entry point. It's statistically missing out on gains. Don't overthink the timing, and please don't obsess over perfectly allocating it. Just buy a broad market index fund, put it all in, and let time do the heavy lifting.
Which brings us to the ultimate financial reframe. I really want you to internalize this. Your tax refund is not a bonus. It is not a gift. It is not found money. It is your income. You worked for it. You deferred payment on it, and now you're just receiving it back as a lump sum. Think about it this way. If someone handed you $3,000 today and said you only get one choice about what to do with it, and that choice would affect your finances for the next 30 years, you wouldn't spend it impulsively at a restaurant or on a whim, right? No way. You would treat it with intense intentionality. Because that is exactly the situation you're in right now. The money is yours. The decision is yours. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will the future version of you spend this or invest it? The difference between the version of you that spends it today and the version that invests it is not just $3,000. Measured across decades, it's a financial life that looks fundamentally different. Choose wisely.